a software developer, but I'm also CEO of Novoda. And Novoda are a specialist consultancy in London, specialising only in Android. We only do Android, but our company is kind of specialised in giving advice to brands and OEMs how to work with Android from like the top level, how to embrace the ecosystem, all the way down to like what is your unique kernel optimization is going to be. But I'm not here to just talk about Novoda. I'm going to talk about the culture. I'm going to talk about the community that's in London and how we do it there and like how it might affect here. I kind of take a role in leading the Londroid community, who are all Android. There's 1,300 really active members in London, and I take a role in leading them. But I don't organize everything. Like I just help everyone else kind of do things. So anyone can organize events, whatever they like. And our events are extremely technical most of the time, because that's how we like it. Like sometimes we just get together and drink beer, but other times it's really technical, and it can be just really casual. Your events don't need to be go next. Oh, we got Wi-Fi. Your events don't need to be like this. They don't need to have a tent. They don't need to be in a hotel. They don't need to have stands from Accenture. They don't need to be huge. They could be just you and some friends. And you just need to get those guys together. As long as you've got the energy and the passion and you want to talk about it, you can make something happen, just a bunch of people at the pub. Sorry, is that a bit too close? There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And it's a bit disorganized. We are a bit disorganized, a bit higgledy-piggledy. Sometimes people don't show up where they're supposed to, but things always happen. And it's fun like that, because it's creative. And this is one of our times when we all got together and had a bar camp. And at bar camp, nothing's planned. We just make up the schedule when we get there. And in London, hackathons are very popular. And it's times when we just all get together and we just code all night, all day, and for the heck of it. Like we just get together and fall asleep making something awesome. We make something awesome overnight and then all present it on stage, and it's really fun. Next. Yeah, next. So, what are some of the applications? Like, it's not all of us just having a laugh. There's lots of like top 10 applications there. Like, there's lots of really good stuff coming out of London. A lot of people forming companies like mine. Here, the Cycle Hire widget, they started off with the Boris Bike Scheme in London. They've got all of these bikes spotted around the city, and Kenton and Little Fluffy Toys, they made a widget so you could find the bikes when you were walking around London. It's really handy, it's good. And then once he did it really well, people used it, and he was thinking local. He was thinking local, and then he scaled it up. He made this application for it now. Yeah, it now works with, like, it's in Luxembourg, it's in France, because they have the same bike schemes as well, and it's very popular. Lightbox made an alternative to your gallery, so you could go through all of the pictures that are on your Facebook account or on Twitter or in your own gallery on your phone, and you can share them through loads of social networks, and that's doing really well as well. Yeah. Okay, so why are all these people so interested in it? Why should you be interested in it? Why are we all thinking about Android and mobile? Well, it's because if you think about like how computing has been going for the past like 40 years, computing has been on a path of getting smaller. It's only through the incidental need of having to be beside this big clunky box that computer programs are all on these big clunky boxes. And something really, and if anyone doubted that it was all going to be mobile, the iPad hit, and the simple utility of not doing this to read the news, but instead doing this, and you're just kind of back on the sofa and you're reading the newspaper, that everyone was really enthralled by that. They were like, wow, let's take this. All the news applications did really well on the iPad. And so the iPad, 2011, had sold, what was it, 15, 30 million? I don't know, tons. Yeah. So, if I was thinking in Africa, the first things I think about are like the massive agriculture, the massive exports that go on. Like how can we do things around that? Well, you've got the Reuters scheme, which was just SMSs to farmers. 22 million people use that now. And it just tells you commodity prices for crops. My company were involved in a scheme. Company were involved in a scheme in Tanzania, where we developed an application where doctors could remotely farmers could remotely diagnose their animals by saying, has this cow got red eyes? Has this cow got like a big tongue sticking out of his mouth? And they didn't have to be an expert, because it would report back by just saying yes or no to a bunch of questions. It would report back to experts, and then they could diagnose the animals. And that did really well. So, if we look at what America are doing, so established kind of creative hubs. At the moment, it's really big with Square. Like one of the founders of Twitter went on to create something where you can take mobile payments. And Square it looks really, really promising. It's coming to the UK soon. I'm really excited about it. But in Africa, you've already got this. Like the M-Pesa has what, 22 million active users happening all the time, and that's just mobile currency. And he's standing in front of the okay. We have to embrace like what everyone's doing online, and so I don't need to tell you that Facebook's really popular. Facebook is really popular. People are used to using these tools. People are used to using all of these social tools. So maybe we can build around similar experiences around work. Another application that my company developed for in work, it's kind of like Facebook, but it's in work, and it's called Podio, and we just developed the Android application for them, but it gives you all the same kind of stuff. It gives you the wall of information, it gives you like detailed items, and you can talk with everyone in your work, and it's just really handy for work. You might be worried, like if you're developing an application for work, you might be worried about is it secure? Well, this other company called Enterprise, they take your whole phone and they encrypt it. They make it really secure. They flip it around so you have two profiles. You've got one for work and one for play, which is great. It makes it safe and sound. I'm going really fast. I've only got 50 minutes. So yeah. So let's think about all the experiences people are already used to. Foursquare. This is great. This is encouraging people to go to local things like eateries and bars and pubs. And if we can play on that, here's another one: food spotting, where people are encouraged to go to local eateries. These things will be adopted really, really fast because people want to make money. People want. If you say to a local company, we can attract more people to your place, they'll be like, well, we want in. We want to help you do that. Urban Spoon just approached loads of these people and said, we're going to help people find your places like a game. If you take existing companies and then you help them adopt mobile, that is a really attractive proposition. Because Airbnb, you might not know, it's a really popular place for finding like rooms and couches you can stay. It's really popular in San Francisco. When it went mobile, it makes much more sense because you're out there and you're like, oh God, where am I going to stay? I'm in Tunis. Where am I going to stay? You can quickly book a place. Events. There could be an app for this event. There's events everywhere. We made one for the Roskilde Music Festival, but for every conference, for every little event, it could be just an event of Android developers getting together for a meeting at the pub. Oh, the thing is that apps are just computing getting smaller. The things you always do, the things you have always done, getting smaller, getting easier to use, getting better. You don't have to go to the big box to sit over it and do this. It's unnatural. Humans have always been mobile. I'm mobile right now. And the iPod, the convenience of having something smaller is the draw. Things that take one singular purpose and wrap it up, make it really easy. The calculator. It does that really, really well. Something which can accept payments. I mean, we had till registers, but the act of going over to the till was annoying enough that people wanted to turn tables faster, make more money by making a device simply for taking your check at your table. That's the amount of unique utility that you have to identify. It doesn't have to be amazing. It doesn't have to be some huge, huge new thing. It could be just something simple, and it works well. My interest actually is really in taking all the existing processes of like huge factories and like just mixing them up and making them more mobile. Like, how can we do this? How can we identify more parts of this to make mobile in this? And that's it.